quick one for the team.
Mm-hmm.
I am a cat owner, not a dog owner.
No.
Andy, nil. Oh, no, you got the fish.
Got the fish owner, and soon to be dog owner.
Are you soon to be dog owner?
Yep.
Really?
Yep. That the wall has come tumbling down.
Wow. What did she catch you doing? You agreed to a dog.
Yeah, but so dog on the horizon. But
Can we see what type of dog it is yet, or can we just see it running around?
no, it's a Welsh Terrier.
The finest of terriers.
It's for the tallest. I would say.
That's a very tall terrier.
They're all
The tallest.
I think the tallest of terriers. I think an Airedale might be slightly taller, but
Jeez, look at you go.
Yeah.
You're like a deck of trump cards that knows all these facts about dogs.
But yes, that's. I've been keeping that under my hat. I haven't watched A Dog's Purpose yet, or what was the other?
Way Home of a Dog, Purpose of a Dog. It got to you though, didn't it?
But yes, it's
And
snuck
now you've
up
got
on
a
me.
terrier, the tallest terrier you can buy. It must be very nice. All those people walking around with short terriers. Sorry. Well, I mean, I didn't know you were soon to be a dog man. Great. This is a question then for both of you, because Jack, I was going to ask you a dog etiquette question about an incident that I saw. You've got, of course, your medium height dog.
Yes.
Not,
Not tall.
not the tallest dog I've ever seen.
Your dog will be probably the same height.
Okay, so yours is tall for your breed,
Yep.
but not particularly tall.
Yeah, it sounds
Most
like I've got
this
this
is-
huge terrier going around. It just
I
made it
was going
sound
to
like
say,
I've got
this
this.
is
like
for non-dog people, this is very boring.
But this is honestly, this is the exact type of conversations you have at the dog park.
Yeah.
Right.
You just bump into people and then you talk about dogs.
Dog height.
And it's very boring.
dog height. Yeah.
But you also, but Andy, I'm saying, but for the terrier, amongst, if you did a side podcast
Yeah.
on
Talking terriers.
yeah,
Yeah.
Terrieranosaurus or something, or talking terriers,
Yeah.
you would be.
So much taller than the Scottish Terrier.
So you'd have a lot of kudos in the terrier
Yeah.
world for the height of your dog.
yeah, oh, yeah.
Boy dog, girl dog, don't know yet.
We are allowed to choose when the litter arrives.
Great. They send you the whole litter and then you send it back.
yeah. That's
Wow,
why.
eh?
That's why I've got to make sure I'm home that day.
They come over in a van. I'll take them for very tall. I'll take the one dunking. Anyway, so yeah, you've got a tall dog. You got a regular dog, Luna. She, when you go for a walk, here's something I saw on the weekend, and I thought, oh, Jack, I'm going to ask Jack about this. Being one of the people that I know that deals with dog stuff.
Sure.
It was, because things are still, not full mobility in Melbourne. This is when we were going for the walk, but you're still allowed, you're allowed out for a little walk and go get a coffee or whatever. Walk along with my son along the street, and people are out, a lot of dog walking going on because,
It's the easiest way to catch up with people.
this
easily.
this is a lot of bump intos. Walk along a street, like a strip of shops, and we're going to get a coffee. Guys walking along with a dog, no grass anywhere, like it's a street. There's the dog assumes the squat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And so when that happens, you're like, we're on.
Yeah.
And the guy, it was a couple walking the dog, and he, made a big deal because I think people want to show they've got the bags and everything.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
because there's this weird moment where I guess for a dog person, you're like, well, my dog is just pooing in the middle of the street, and we're all like, that he's allowed to do that. He's a dog.
Yeah, you got to show you have the bag ready because you can't. That's the only display you can do. You can't put your hand under the dog and catch it.
You
You could take a little sanitized baseball mitt if you wanted. So he's doing the big, I've got the bags here, I'm getting ready to do it. The dog's assumed the position. And there is always this thing, because as a non-dog owner, I go, I just can't believe you have to do that.
I know. This is the part that I'm just having a real problem with.
And I know that as someone that's had 2 children, I've spent thousands and thousands of hours with my hands in poop and stuff. But I'm like, well, it's just at least
They eventually grow out of it, though.
they grow out of it. It's behind closed doors. I made you, and also I understand that it's not.
You don't know yet.
No one can see. Yeah, you're learning. You're learning, and no one can really see it. But to publicly be like, I am picking up this animal's feces.
And now you have to be even more public about it because you need to show off that you are doing it.
I've got a big bag. Anyway, he goes to he gets the bag. He's already got his hand sheathed in the bag, waiting for it to come out. So, I think, again, for people to be like, oh, how could you? Yeah, we're all out for a walk and you're just letting your dog shit on the street. Anyway, dog has this huge load of diarrhea.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
and it's like tippy-toeing to get out of the way, and it's like running. It's a puddle,
wow.
and it's starting to kind of like slowly run along the pavement into the gutter.
What do you do?
The guy's got the sheet can, and he's going, now, he thought he was going to be dealing with a plastic and nugget scenario, which is a compatible mix.
Yes.
And now he's going, a handful of plastic and a puddle of dog diarrhea are not a compatible mix. He needs paper towel. He needed a handful of paper towel.
What do you do?
All the shops are closed.
Yeah.
It's lockdown. There's even
it's a bottle of water, isn't it? You probably
then because it's like, and he had the dog leash, so he's like, ugh, and everyone's looking at him, and he's like, you hold the dog, you stay here. The dog doesn't really care. I noticed.
to his partner.
Yeah, so he's going to his
I
partner.
thought he was talking to the dog. You hold your own leash.
Yeah. Actually, let me just take your council tag off. You're out with nothing to do with you. Go and find a new home. So he has the partner, he's the leash. Then he's making a big thing of like, I'm going to go and get napkins. Right,
Yeah,
to
he
the
didn't
street.
have that.
Well, it sort of felt like when you have the car accident, you write the fake note going,
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
writing a note because everyone's watching me.
Yep.
And I said to Sonny, hey, let's just stay here, see what
Right.
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on his scooter and stuff. I was like, it's just
Good. Teaching Sonny to keep people accountable.
That's just interested to see how this plays out.
Yeah.
Because he's hoping to come back, and even if there's new people there, it doesn't matter. It's, as long as the same people aren't there, he reckons he can get away with it.
As long as I was wondering if he'd text his girlfriend or his wife or whoever it was going, just slowly start walking and I'll meet you around the other side of the block. Like, we have to run away from this scenario.
I had to.
They stayed and he found the nearest cafe, which was some way away, but came back. And I saw him coming back with napkins. And first of all, I was like, it's not enough.
No.
It's not enough. And he better hope these are very high-end absorbent napkins because cafe napkins are
they're the worst.
renowned for being
Yeah.
waxy.
Yeah, multiply.
They won't absorb. They're like dipped in wax. They
Yeah.
won't absorb liquid. And he probably had about 8
Yep.
of these and starts kind of like laying them out like he's cleaning up. And also I was like, oh, mate, this can't be worth it for the dog.
And so then he
He laid them out. Then he got his hand
back in,
in the
that's smart.
glove to sweep up that orange-brown mess of napkins,
I'm going to do is
then put it into the bag. But you look at the payment going, we haven't really cleaned anything.
no.
You've just shown that you're willing to do something disgusting as penance.
That's exactly what he's going for. He's like, I've made an effort. You can all see I've made an effort. What else do you want me to do?
Yep.
There wasn't.
Jack, yes or no question. Would you have done that?
God, I hate people who leave the poos and don't pick.
I mean,
them up.
leaving the poo, there's no excuse for it. It's like, well, it's a little nugget.
So I hate that. So I always make sure I get it. But the diarrhea, I think I would walk around the corner, call Bianca, run away, never walk on that street again.
And we keep saying we're back. It just feels good to have the muzzle off. You know, it feels good to not have the government getting its way, squashing us down, making us take the 3 months off. On one hand, we appreciate it. Sure, we do appreciate. We understand why the government makes us do it.
I played a lot of golf, which was one upside, but of course I would have wanted to be back at work.
Yeah, giving the mouth more of a workout than, of course, the
Legs and arms.
You know, the legs and arms as you whack and kick your caddy for handing you the wrong club, or perhaps snipping the end of the cigar off, or popping the champagne cork incorrectly. You know, maybe during someone's backswing. I know you're not allowed to pop a champagne during a backswing. It's considered poor etiquette.
You know, under Rule 13.5.
So your arms and legs got a real workout from caddy assaults. But again, your vocal cords.
Yep.
Whilst you would have been doing a lot of yelling at him or her privately once you go back to the mahogany line club room, you would have much preferred to be using your vocal cords for the fun that we have on the show.
Exactly, but not allowed to.
But we're back. It's funny when the government makes you take a 3-month break, you sort of, you know, we finish the show in December and then it starts up again in March. And a lot of stuff you just are hoping, you know, a lot of things that happen over that time.
Yep.
And one of the exciting things that was coming to fruition at the end of last year was, of course, the news. And I hope I'm not jumping ahead of an announcement here, but I assume congratulations are in order because you did flag with the team that you're about to get a tall terrier, the world's tallest terrier. You're about to get a dog, the world's tallest terrier.
Yes. It's not the world's tallest.
You did say it was the tallest terrier available.
It's a taller terrier.
No, Jack, didn't Handy say it was the tallest terrier
My
available?
mental image of the dog is very tall.
Yeah,
And incredibly tall, like a llama.
No, it's a Welsh terrier taller.
Tallest?
No, an
average
Airedale.
terrier.
An Airedale would probably have it for leg length.
Yes.
But-
Okay.
yeah.
My recollection was you were getting the world's tallest terrier,
Yes, okay.
which
That's what you grasped onto and repeated.
well, I've
numerous times.
had quite a lot of people over the break go, first of all, commiserations on having to take the break and a bit of government grumbling,
Yep.
and then going, have you seen Andy's tall terrier yet? And I sort of said, look, no, I haven't. I suspect it is in the house, but he's probably waiting to debut it next year. And I don't want to steal the reveal for when we get to see the tall terrier.
Yeah.
But first of all, how is it?
It doesn't exist quite yet. It was a busy time for tall terriers. And
Hot season.
Yeah, hot season. COVID meant a lot of people ran out of dogs, and we were looking quite seriously.
Does make him sound like the people using him as face masks.
It was toilet paper and dogs. They ran into supermarkets, and we looked through for rescues for this type of dog that we want, but there aren't any at this stage in shelters either. So
So you're doing the
waiting.
shelter thing, but you have you want the tall terrier from it.
We would love a specific type of
Yeah,
dog.
that's not quite the shelter mentality, is it?
No.
Like calling the op shop, going, "Have you got any Chanel bags?"
And if I'm
very
lucky enough to
interested-
get one from
Very
the op shop.
interested in, of course, doing the right thing and supporting the community.
Yes.
But it does need to be this bag in this colour.
Pretty much.
Okay, well then, slight spanner in the works, because I have made you something to welcome the arrival of the tall terrier.
Jeez.
I just assumed we'd have a tall terrier on our hands.
Yep.
I made you a mixtape with tall terrier songs. So we may as well do it anyway.
Yeah.
Assumed the tall terrier would be with us. So this is going to
And then I can play it to Beck
Yeah.
when we eventually get the tall terrier, because I
Great.
know she doesn't listen to this anymore, our podcast anymore, because of the way she's treated us, essentially.
Absolutely. Well, Zoe has told me she was too busy from day one. So
Yeah.
well, okay, it was more of an ad for the mixtape, but I guess just pretend you've got it.
Okay.
Congratulations, Andy, on your purchase of the world's tallest terrier. You and that lofty pooch are going to take adventure to new heights. Unintended. Seriously, I know how much you like my singing, so I've made this mixtape so you can get down and shake your derriere with your tall terrier. We start off the songs with a little bit of Kanye. Can the dog get higher? Oh no, it's the tallest terrier. Next, some powerful analogies. Your dog's like a bird, his head is very high, floating up off the ground, way up in the sky, like a bird's head. Then the songs get really, really good. 'Cause Ailey, people gonna think it's crazy when giraffe seems small. 'Cause your dog's so tall. And as sure as you can bet, I'm looking at you right now, very proud of those lyrics. You can bet the celebration of my genius will be short-lived when you hear the next tall terrier track. Where is that dog's head? Up, up there. Where is that dog's head? Up there. Wow. Man, even your 10th favourite band, Imagine Dragons from Las Vegas, gets the tall terrier treatment. You're a young man with a tall dog, like my friend Steve with his long frog. Except you're not young, you got grubby lungs. All those cool tracks plus more redone by me to celebrate the arrival of your very, very tall terrier. Please enjoy, mate, but hurry, mixtape on sale now and selling fast. Sorry, due to specificity of product and small customer pool, no best friend discounts. Sorry, I made you one, but it's for sale.
I hope he didn't do any of that work during our 3-month government mandated.
Can I just shock you?
Yeah, the song.
I did most of it just before we started the show today. I know it seems crazy.
I thought as much.
With some of those killer lyrics.
I thought as much.
No. Took me months to think of the long frog bit.
Haim, announcement was made in my family during the week. It was being hotly anticipated. I mean,
Well done. Congrats. You are the proud father of a bouncing, soon to be tall, I hope, baby terrier.
Yes. There was a mix of emotion on my Instagram with people saying, thought it'd be taller, or
Sure.
others
Yeah.
going, I can see the potential for growth.
Well, let's
This-
address the non-giraffe in the room thus far. That thing is not grazing the roof yet.
No.
I have full faith it's going to be the world's tallest terrier. That's how it was advertised to the people.
You have
Roll up, see the tallest terrier in the world. Was certainly that message was put out and about, and I think you can still deliver on that. So I'm just assuming that it's sort of like. Sometimes you get an invasive grass species or something. That
Well, the tallest
absolutely-
man in the world didn't come out that tall when he was a baby.
True. And the dog, from what we hear, is going to be quite a lot taller than that. So you've got a couple. I mean, I would say you've got a few couple of days, maybe some weeks leeway before you start needing to find another residence.
Well,
you don't want it to get a sore neck.
No, true. I did. I regret ordering a
you hear it?
semi-trailer to go and pick it up.
Yeah,
Felt very silly.
Especially adapted horse float.
When I got out there and it was the size of a shoebox.
Because can you hear its neck growing at night, or is it more? Has it started to kick in yet? Because you will, I imagine, with the amount of growth that is required for that thing, for its neck and legs to start getting up to where we had been led to believe it would be, sort of MCG light pylon height. You'll hear it audibly. You'll hear the bones shifting and the ligaments stretching.
So
you will hear it.
The lady that we picked the dog up from, or I picked the dog up from, someone had told her that, she'd mentioned, Andy's coming to pick up the dog. And she's like, they said, it's a tall terrier. And she was very confused because she's not a podcast listener. So when I got there, I got a small speech about how it's not the tallest terrier. And I was like, yes, that's okay. It's just a joke that she goes, well, he needs
Not
to.
really, Joe, you told us it was a very tall terrier.
No, it's taller than the smallest terrier.
Andy, don't make us dig through the archives. We were sold. We've become sort of the Ripley's Believe It or Not of podcasts based on the attraction of this dog being associated with the show.
I thought that's why it was taking so long to get it, just because it was rare.
They were trying
The Welsh Terriers
to catch it. It was galloping through the forest, kicking down trees.
There are numerous scientists working away on how to breed it properly. No,
people on the
Welsh
phone going,
Terrier.
those cages from Jurassic Park, were they a joke, or could we get one?
So, anyway, we'll see.
Is it a bit like having something from Jurassic Park in the house? Like, do you have a special cupboard with like a taser in it in case it gets just too much and it starts swinging its neck around, kicking over cars?
It's a regular puppy height.
It seems docile now.
At this stage, yes.
You're right.
And I'd always said to Beck, yes, you can get a dog, but it's not allowed on the couch. That was one of the big things.
Right.
Within 30 minutes of being home, it was on the couch in my
you'd be
spot
sleeping on the dog
with
mat.
one of my beers. It was just
smoking.
doing whatever it was.
That's the kicker.
So the other thing, and Jack, you would have gone through this when you got Luna. I didn't realise, how old was Luna when you picked her up?
I think 10 weeks.
10 weeks, yeah. Didn't realise owning a dog is a full-time game of where's the poo.
Where's the wee? Where's the poo?
Where's the wee? Where's the wee? The poo. The poos. She's our dog's weeing on the mat, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's great.
Already finding that and weeing on the mat. But the poos, they can be anywhere.
You don't know where they are.
No.
You can smell them.
Oh,
I'm sure you can smell them.
Thankfully,
I would say that's probably the difference between a dog and a baby. At least with the baby, you know where it is. You get a little net that they wear. It's called a nappy.
Yeah.
It's mostly with a baby. The game is when's the poo.
Yes.
So you get very excited about the poo schedule,
Yes.
but you know where it is.
Yes.
But much different game
Much
with the
different
dog.
game. This is where and when to a certain extent, but
Sure.
where's more.
So it's sort of like when My Kitchen Rules, MasterChef, same show, like slightly different format.
Jack, you've had a dog for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Dog man.
I'd like you to tell me
I'm
whether
not
you've
the only
had.
person with a dog.
It's not a superpower.
I'd like to tell me whether you've had an incident this bad. Right?
I mean, I could help. I've got a cat. Perhaps there's crossover.
Okay, you can tell me whether you had an incident this bad.
Puss boy.
I had a call from.
Notice Andy almost played on.
No. That's not also another nickname that's not catching on. These are the moments where I'm sure you've had them, and I know that there's some parallels with kids and pets, but I'm sure you've had them where your partner's having a nightmare and you're away, like with the kids.
They're having a tough time.
Tough time.
Sure.
Beck had an absolute shocker with the dog, and
Yeah.
I was just, when she was telling me on the phone, all I could think of was, God, I'm glad I wasn't there in my head, but I had to go, oh, that's bad. But all I was thinking was, gosh, I'm so thrilled I missed this.
Yes, kids and dogs are different, but you do, as time goes on, because you're new into this world of, not everything going your way all the time, which is what it's like to be single, but like new into this world of like having to have something else. I remember that with kids at the start, like you were like, oh no, that sounds terrible, honey. But you quickly realize just if I'm having a terrible one with the kids, I was like, great, glad I wasn't there. then if I've got the kids and I'm like, oh, great, glad I got to sleep. You do.
Take the mini win.
You just take them.
So Beck, there's a curfew for Melbourne lockdown, and Beck goes up to the wine bar to try and grab some wine at quarter to
in your
8,
house.
8 p.m. Up the road
Wow,
to shop.
must be nice to have a house so big that moving to another part of it breaks curfew. It's considered a city.
To the wine bar shop.
Gotcha.
It's a shop called the Wine Bar where she's trying to get some wine before curfew. So it's a huge queue, people in their masks.
Oh yeah, trying to get back.
So she's run up there. She's got Henry the pup.
Yeah.
She's in the queue.
Henry wouldn't stay at home.
Well, she was out with Henry, didn't want to keep Henry in the car.
Make her do a poo or something.
Yeah. So she's got Henry. She's waiting to pay for the wine. Henry goes and does a wee in the store, right? Which is
Inside
the store, which is annoying, but like, oh, well, So Beck's like, hey, can I please have some napkins or a mop? Can I please sort this out?
Yeah.
The guy's like, yeah, no problem. But a lot of people are worried about this.
What's the deal with taking pups into a store? Because you're not really meant to take a dog into a shop, are you?
Well, I don't know the rules in that. More and more stores are allowing it. In fact, more and more restaurants and pubs, and there's actually going to change. They're actually changing the rules. So
You can bring your dog in?
So, yeah, even on commercial flights as of December, you're allowed to take a dog in Australia,
Jeez.
so it's really changing. But anyway,
Hugh Jack dressing as a dog to get free flights.
so Beck's trying to mop up this wee, and the guy comes out and says, look, I'll do it, no problem. But as Beck was mucking around with that, the dog's got an upset tummy and does a very large diarrhea poo.
Yeah, I know what diarrhea is. Hard to do a diarrhea wee.
In another part of the wine store, and it really badly smells, and everyone is queuing up to get their final wine before curfew, and this is just holding up the thing. So the store, the dog then does another one. So now there's 3 areas of interest.
Squirt fest. Remember I told you that story of this happened? I saw a dog do a diarrhea when I was walking with Sonny, and then the guy went and got napkins.
Yep.
And I was like, what's this, Sonny? There's not enough napkins. This guy won't be able to solve this.
This is what Beck was saying. The store owner, or there's 2 guys working, one of them was like, don't worry, we'll do it, because they just wanted to make sure they got all the people processed.
Yeah.
By the time. So Beck picks up the dog, has to apologise for it, pays for a thing, and then goes and leaves
Does a runner.
2 poos and a wee in a wine store, right?
And this is what blows my mind. This is where dogs do have a higher status in society than human beings. If your kid did that, everyone would be like, you are feral, mate. This is out of control. But we're all like, oh, it's a dog. They can poo everywhere they want. Our world is a toilet for them.
So Beck gets home very upset that she's left these people in this situation. She wants to call them and they're not picking up to still apologise and so on. And what can she do? And she's put the dog down in the living room, and she's wondering why the dog has got this upset tummy. The dog then goes to our rug and vomits, right? And Beck's like, what's she vomiting up? She's got an upset tummy because she'd been eating her own poo. And the dog then vomits up its own poo.
Shit spew.
Beck said it's the worst smell she's ever smelled in her entire life. I mean, maybe this is turning into a keep it or delete it because it's so gross.
You're not meant to eat your own shit.
No, you're not.
It's one of the laws of the animal world.
Exactly. So suddenly Beck's met with the worst smelling thing she's ever encountered.
I know. To
Having
make
left-
poo smell worse is amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
The dog's done it.
Henry's figured out a way.
Jack, have you ever
Never even come close.
Does Luna eat her own poos?
Nah, she does eat cat poo, which is disgusting, and you have to keep an eye on her.
Would you rather her eat her own or some other cat's?
Nah, cats. Eating your
Because
own is like, it is against the laws of the animal kingdom.
It's sort of like you're eating poo and it's kind of incest. It's
But also, just for that question to Jack, purely on a supply basis, the cat's not around that often.
Yeah.
so-
rather her have a thing for cat poo a special treat for her birthday. What, mini Maltesers? Yeah, sort of.
Hey, I'm just following up on something from last week. You were talking about tiny tricks. Tiny
Yeah.
tricks.
Just some good tricks.
Little tricks. And it really has got me going through life looking for little tricks that I can share as well.
I mean, this is my claiming there was a bag in my car when it got stolen. There was no bag, but gee, there've been some mythical items that must have been in the bag that got pinched.
I think I've mentioned this before on the pod, but one of the downsides of having a dog is that everyone with a dog or has ever owned a dog comes up to you and wants to talk to you about the dog and feels like
Dog
they
chat.
should share.
Yep.
Even if they had a dog growing up 40 years ago, they'll tell me exactly what that dog was about and what they did, and it was this type, and I don't care.
Yep.
And we got this one. I'm happy with this one, but it doesn't
It's
feel
amazing.
Like, feels like
I mean,
I'm
I feel
big-
like it's an absolute another language because I've never owned a dog, and the way you hear dog people talk to each other.
Oh, it seems like a big sign on my head saying, please come and tell me everything about your dog. And I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to. And you wouldn't do it for any other product either. Like you don't.
Yeah.
I don't see someone walking with a printer and go, ooh, was it what to say to brother?
Is yours a piece of
Jet
shit?
laser.
Yeah, mine's a piece of shit. Yeah, I hate printers. Yeah, let's smash them
exactly.
together.
Yeah,
I like it.
Actually, Andy does talk about his printer more than the average man, though. He loves that
true.
printer he's got.
But if
And
you were
it
walking
does strike
along,
up conversations when he's dragging his printer down to Cheeky Monkey for a coffee near where he lives. Oh, you got the laser.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
must be
cute.
nice.
Yeah, pretty
they're
well
good.
behaved. Does chew the paper sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, is it a Hewlett Packard? It's a Hewlett Epson. It's a mongrel.
Anyway, so old people are the worst. They've got all this time in their hands and they've had dogs in their life, so they've got a bigger chance of having a dog in their life. And so they
God
come up.
help you if it reminds them of one of their dogs.
I had that the other day outside of Coles. I was waiting
Because
for Beck.
Henry, whilst she hasn't achieved, she's not quite yet 1 kilometre tall as promised.
No, she's growing
She
still. Legs
does
getting
look
longer.
a bit like she's of a terrier breed, isn't she? She's like not the chum dog, but
Yeah.
similar.
They are small
They're
legged
small
terriers.
terriers.
I've got a taller terrier.
She would stomp on them.
Found a trick during the week.
Hmm?
I'm walking up and I see someone approaching with their dog, and they are from ages away home. They give you the eyes like, oh, great. Now we can come and they can chat the dogs and sniff each other, and then we get to chat.
Yeah.
And I pick up Henry and I just yell, kennel cough. I'm really sorry,
Oh,
kennel
right.
cough. And
That's a thing. That's a
there's
dog disease.
the dog thing and it's really contagious. So if any dogs go to like the kennels or whatever, or in the park, they get kennel cough and they're sick.
So it's like a daycare bug.
Yeah, and parents of the dog parents walk the other way. They never avoid you
Yep.
more.
Rabies.
So Henry's had
I thought you were
kennel
gonna- here's
cough
another-
for about
here's-
3 months now.
That's a great one. I thought you were going to. Here's one you could do, which is a variation of one with this is a sort of a well-known parenting hack. When your kid is absolutely losing it, you look at everyone else in the cafe and be like, "Oh, I'm just the nanny. Like I don't know." It's sort of that's a bit of an old trope. It would just
There's
be like,
one for you, Jacko.
There's one, Jake. If things are kicking off, and this will start happening when you start visiting cafes, just be like, I don't know, this kid, he's just, this is just a nephew. Don't worry about this kid. I didn't raise it like this. But surely you can be like, I'm the dog walker. Like, not my dog.
No, they still talk.
But yeah, they're still going to chat to you.
They still talk to you.
Yeah, right.
And
so
I
can
know-
you just be like,
so I'm the dog
what if you guys just found this dog?
And I know nothing about dogs, so I can't converse.
I'm looking for the owner. Sorry, I'm looking for the owner.
I'm looking for the owner.
Yeah, that's what you do. Ando, as listeners of the show would know, you are currently growing a tall terrier. The height of the terrier is... Roofs are safe at the moment, which I think has disappointed a lot of eager people, turning out like a 1920s circus. Very excited to see this terrier strolling through the streets of Melbourne, nibbling dog biscuits off the top of the Rialto, just terrorising the populace.
Well, yeah, this all stems back to when I said I was getting a Welsh Terrier.
You said you were getting the tallest terrier in the world.
No,
You did.
you said
You had a curly
like
moustache and you were twirling it. You were saying, step right up, folks.
Like the
just a dime to see a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. What would you do if I could tell you that you could live in Frankston, see a terrier from the CBD of Melbourne? Look at the size of that terrier.
No, it's tall. You were picturing the
Tallest
chum
in the
dog, the
world.
little black ones that are on the chum ads, and they're Scottish Terriers. Like, no, they're much taller than that. And then it
Tallest in
has
the world.
Yeah, it has been very unfortunate. But constantly I'm walking the dog and people just yell from cars, not tall enough, still needs to grow, etc., etc.
So, I mean, but having said that, Henry has become a big part of your life.
Yes.
You've rapidly transferred into Dogman.
Never thought I'd be a dog man.
I like, who's the guy in Game of Thrones?
There's a few.
Yeah, I think he's one of the ones that makes it all the way through.
Oh, there's not
that has the spies.
not
There's
many
the
of those.
spies everywhere.
Oh, Ferris. Littlefinger or
often
Ferris? Ferris.
I'd probably take Littlefinger because I think Ferris had his
Yes, unique.
genitals removed.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm not biologically the same as him, but in the sense I have the. I mean, they try, but you can't get through an SP. In the sense I've got spies, spies everywhere.
Yes.
Whispers.
I know what.
Whispers. I recently, you showed people, hey, we've cut the dog's hair or we've washed the dog's hair
Yeah.
on Instagram, and I think it was mentioned quite casually, like, oh, gave it a hair wash.
Yeah.
How long did that process take?
I was going to declare this because I thought it would get back to
It
you.
was always going to get back. Quick snip. I would assume to cut a small dog's hair. Like, I mean, how long does it take for a kid? Probably 20 minutes for my son to get his hair cut. Dog's head's about a quarter the size of a child's head. 5 minutes.
Was just as appalled as anyone else.
Really? Because I haven't heard anything about it. You've kept your shock to yourself.
Jack, I got home and I said to Beck, how's your day? And she said, yeah, took Henry to the day spa and she had a mud facial and mud
Japanese mud bath, according to my spies, Jack. Japanese mud bath for the dog.
a Japanese mud bath.
Flying in dirt from Tokyo dirt, Okinawa, somewhere amazing in Japan. Australian dirt not good enough, Henry. Japanese mud bath with melted snow from Mount Fuji. And only then and only then will the dog be bathed in mud. Now, I assume your dog, Jack, Luna, very much in touch with the common man. She would just use regular park mud.
That's it. Australian mud every day. Backyard mud.
Yeah.
Park mud.
Yeah.
It
As
doesn't
you would
matter.
expect. as
She's
you would
never
expect.
tasted international mud and she probably never will.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, there was
unfortunately for Henry, she didn't get to taste it for long because it was followed then by a cleanse. I don't know what country the water came from for the cleanse, perhaps Argentinian glacier water. And then the blow wave. A 3-hour process.
It was
3 hours.
It was 3 hours, Jack.
I mean, I don't know. We have to invent another category above must be nice for the dog. Like, this is a wild animal doing international dirt baths and blow waves.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to the stage,
Mud
Amanda, where
bath. I don't think they like them being referred to as dirt baths.
wet dirt bath, madam. So there's Henry, caked in Japanese mud, like reading mags, getting her claws painted or whatever.
Yep,
Just
gossiping with the
gossiping
other.
away.
Well, actually, there was a couple of other cats in there at the time, which I was surprised with.
Cats?
Yeah.
They let him go to the same...
They're all, and they've got, again, learn out the fact, they've got their own drying rooms. So they put them in these rooms and they kind of get slowly dried, which they just love, and they just sit there and have a good time, apparently.
I mean, it is. We remember when we took you to the dog grooming place in Florida, Ando, as part of Gap Year. Do you remember that, Jack?
Yeah, and we rolled our eyes at how luxurious that place was, but that's nothing compared to where Henry's going.
Yeah.
How times have changed.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a weird experience, wasn't it? Because remember the owner, I think the owner,
Yeah. She just wanted.
she was quite happy with the animal I'd bought in, because we made Andy get the same treatment as a dog. And she was absolutely thrilled to have Andy dropped off at the pound.
She said,
put him in a cage.
Leslie said she was getting hot flushes. And
She did. She said, leave him with me. Leave him with me.
At one point, I think we put you in one of the dog kennels, which was like a hotel room, and she watched you through the CCTV footage.
Yes, and you had to be on your hands and your knees. And I think it was at that point too, because I don't think the show had even aired yet. And because we're like recording this ahead of time, I think there was a bit of one of those ones where we're like, I wonder if we've lost the thread here a bit. Feels like we just brought Andy to this woman's private sex dungeon, and we're all just allowing it to happen.
We could find the video. We'll pop it on our pods.
Oh, we'll put a flash in, but I mean, it's too traumatic for you to watch the whole thing.
I won't see it. Put a warning.
Here's the thing, though, Endo. What fascinates me is, from years ago, just being like, Beck's family has had terriers for a lot of time, and you were not against them, but you were terrier neutral.
I was anti-dog, as in
Anti-dog. You're anti-dog, and I would say and terrier neutral. I mean, for you,
terrier tentative,
an anti-dog.
And I was just saying, like, it's not that people go, "Oh, so you hate dogs?" Like, no, fill your boots if you want one. I just didn't want one because I just don't want to clean up after it and didn't want the responsibility. Yeah.
Yep. And now you are. You're a terrier addict.
Yeah.
You can't get enough. Beck can't get enough of the dog. I've had a few people mention this to me, and I was actually rewatching a film the other night, and my floor cracked because my jaw hit it. And I was shocked because, there's no possible way the filmmakers could know you and Beck, and it was made a while ago, but they have perfectly captured where I think you guys are heading.
What film was it?
Best in Show. Eugene Levy's character and his wife.
Like Eugene Levy.
You do. You understand they have a terrier that wins the dog competition. And this is, I'm going to play a little bit from the end of the movie where they're talking about some of the merch they're making, the songs they're making for the terrier. And I'm just like, this is you and Beck's biopic, really. Like, have a listen.
At some point, a good friend of ours said, you've got all these great songs that you do about your terriers. And,
you love songs?
And do something with them because you're celebrities now. And
never thought of it. We were just doing it for
You're a celebrity?
fun, just for the love of terriers. But thinking, why not?
There's something to be said for that.
Backyard, front yard, or the barn.
This could be you.
Play with it till after dark. Take it home after a while. Then chew it out, terrier style. Bow wow.
Delish.
Bow wow. Some dish.
Now, last year on the show, when we made a joking offhand comment, Jack, about how, wouldn't it be funny to see Andy play trumpet, Nothing Else Matters, like with a full orchestra? Well, allow the joking offhand comment to be registered in the record. I think you and Beck should release a terrier album.
This one doesn't excite me as much.
Well, it just, the show has a history of, you say one thing and then end of the year, fingers crossed, to go, guys, we actually, we got the CD done.
No.
And we meet here as a three. Every week. It's so much fun. Highlight of the week, we meet here with the team. A wary eye is cast amongst the men in this room to ensure that the common man remains in touch with. Now, of course, there are huge chasms that sometimes open up. And, sometimes onlookers go, that particular guy might never touch a common man again. He's so out of touch. But it's always a human. We're always looking at the humans.
Yeah.
And then, unbeknownst to us, running amongst us is another animal, thoroughly losing touch with the common dog, we've already talked about how your dog, Henry, refuses to dirty itself unless it's imported mud from Japan. A Japanese mud bath that went for 3 hours for a wild animal who's only recently become domesticated was a mind-blowing piece of data to ingest for a lot of people, because Jack's dog, Luna,
Very common.
working class dog, just,
Happy Aussie
she's
mud.
on the she loves Aussie mud, rides in the back of the ute, rolls her own, just an Aussie bloody dog.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't need a shisha for smoko. However,
Get to the point. What's come up?
did you hire a dog limousine for your dog?
Did you?
Unbelievable, Jack. A dog limo.
What is that?
It's a tiny little Hummer where the dog can stick their head out the roof and scream, "We're going to the formal."
Oh, disgusting.
I love Jason Benetton. Unless your dog went to the formal.
Who's the leak? Who's the leak?
Spotted. Just spotted by concerned citizens. Concerned citizens in the area around your house.
Yes. Beck books.
People be like, "Oh, why is this road closed off? Why is there a police escort? Who's this? Is the UN in town?" Oh, no, it's Andy's dog. Andy's dog. Off for a waft of Arabian air across the eyelashes or some other deluxe facial treatment.
I need to work out where the leak's going from. That's my number
Probably the
one
limo
concern.
driver. They're usually the most disgruntled. And I would be too if I was driving a dog around.
I'm looking out at our team, but they all laughed when you said it. So I don't think any of them. Okay, yes. There was a canine limousine ordered. It's not. She went to a dog
I know
hotel.
she's tall. Oh, my God.
We had
Went to a dog hotel and got a limo.
Yeah, we had to go.
Is she getting proposed to? Like, this is a weekend of a lifetime.
She went to a dog hotel because we had to go interstate for a wedding, and the hotel was an hour away. So they offered a canine limousine service if you. So it's sounding nicer than it was. It wasn't if like a chauffeur came with a fancy hat and gloves.
That's what I heard.
But yeah, they.
I heard she complained because he didn't have clean gloves.
But she went. Yeah, you do get these. It's a long vehicle. It's got their own sections.
Oh my God, Jack!
And she travelled.
Would Luna even know what to do in a dog limousine?
Wouldn't even recognise what.
You know what worried me about the
Luna,
hotel?
you'd give Luna a knife and tell her to go bush for 2 days.
You would.
You would, wouldn't you? A knife and a flint.
Beck showed
should
me-
be fine.
Beck showed me this place, right? And they had their own room with their own TV, which I thought was funny. But what worried me was the contract. So, Bexy, can you please look over the contract for the dog?
You could have signed a contract to go to the dog hotel.
A dog hotel. And one part of the contract was we won't send photos. We can send photos of your dog, but $20 a photo.
Oh my God!
That is
Disneyland. This is how they get you at theme parks.
Exactly. Which
Who's
worried.
paying $20 for a photo
Beck
of the
goes,
dog?
I think we should get one a day. I was like, no. It's
A digital photo?
Yeah.
No, just be like, we just want proof of life. Her holding the newspaper. That's it. We don't need like a glamour shot.
So what worried me was like, maybe they're not living it up. If it's such an effort to get a photo, like maybe they're taking the dog out of like a terrible situation and putting them in the one glam room.
I think your dog is in the
also-
bush with Luna.
Yeah.
I think she is, because like an hour away, who's ever dropping it off? They do. Oh, don't worry, we'll send the limo. Look at all these pictures of how good the dog hotel is.
Goes around the corner to an
Cut
empty
to
warehouse.
just someone's garage just throwing in old lamb chops. Like, oi, dog 58, come on, your parents fell for the photo. Come inside and stand in the fake room.